South Africa, and the whole continent. Welcome to Skwatta Camp Podcast. We have just witnessed the budget speech. We saw the budget speech delivered by the Finance Minister Enoch Godlongwana. And as an average person, I'll speak for average people. I don't know about the rich people, what is their view about this budget speech and all of that. All that I know is that especially Black South Africans are facing a very, very serious challenge of poverty, unemployment, crime, and all of that. And what I know so far is that the VAT tax has been increased, and it means the life of the poorer of the poorest will become more and more difficult. The government doesn't have a plan to run this country. They don't know what to do to make this country a better country that we can really be proud of as citizens. If you ask me what is a budget speech, the purpose of budget speech, I think it has become just a talk shop, full of people wearing suits and continuing to lie to the people of South Africa. I mean, we saw Gwede Mantashe, we saw Musi Maimane of Bosa, we saw Ronald Lamola, we saw Dr. Hlophe, we saw Athol Trollip, we saw Nomvula Mkonyane, Kabayomzi Kwangwa. So this is a recycle of people who have been useless and who continue to be useless. I feel like in South Africa we need new leadership. We need new leadership because politicians continue to live fleshy lives and enrich themselves, their families, and all of that through the vote. There's nothing new that you can expect, or there's nothing better that you can expect. In South Africa, we need a regime change. We don't need these talk shops, people wearing suits, and the next thing politicians will be commenting and all. You look at people like John Steenhuisen, someone with a matric wanting to give his view about the budget speech, wanting to predict what is going to happen and all of that. So it's I'm not an economist, but I feel like we are led by people who are actually incompetent to do what they're supposed to do. Even if we're not economists, we can see that these people are they are messing up, and we need a regime change, something which will bring change to all the people, including the people who are staying in squatter camps, who continue to be poor, who continue to face poverty, who continue to live beyond the poverty line, below the poverty line. And these issues, I feel like with this rate of politicians doing what they are doing, they will not solve any problem. They will not solve any problem. They will just continue with the status quo. So it's one of those talk shops that I don't have much to say about it. People go there wearing suits. It's a fashion parade for them. And they are there in parliament as MPs, earning more than 100K salary a month, and continue to, to have fun. It's like for them, it's one of those occasions where they wear suits and meet there and listen and react. The thing is, as citizens of this country, there's nothing that we can change. We don't have a say. They decide, they make decisions about us without us, and they just deliver whatever they have prepared for us. And they don't even care how we feel about it. They don't even want to know how we think the government can help us or meet us halfway to resolve this issue, because many people are unemployed. We've got so many graduates who are sitting at home about to lose hope. Some, they even get recruited into criminal activities and all of that because they are stagnant, they can't find employment, and all of that. And you see the government people just having fun in parliament. The other one will wear a dobs and stand there on the pulpit and say whatever the nonsense he wants to say, and other ones come with suits. They are queuing there for interviews, and from there then there's nothing. What will happen? What is it that is going to change from now on? Because the value-added tax has been increased, and then we will bear the brunt. The people who are staying in squatter camps, who don't have the means of income, where who are not generating anything, they will continue to feel the pinch. So what is it that is going to help us? And who will come to our rescue as ordinary South Africans who are stuck in poverty because there's poor management of governance from the ANC and all these other political parties? That is why I always feel more like we are subjected to a rotten political system in South Africa. We need a regime change. We need a political system which will be effective, to work, because the political system that we have now is just there to oppress people, and it doesn't yield any results. When you are lucky, you happen to be lucky, then you can find a better job. Maybe, just maybe, I don't know how many people do really find jobs in this day and age, 2025, because we continue to decline on the employment rate. We continue to see the rate of crime, going up, and poverty also. It continues to strike. I'm speaking for the poor of the poorest people. How can we actually resuscitate those people, and we make sure that we help them get out of that poverty? Because now, as much as they are stuck there, there's frustration, there's anger, and there's going to be chaos, obviously so. And there's no industrialization where they can build factories and all of that. So we are not growing, and at the same time, the poor of the poorest will bear the brunt. They will be subjected to this rotten political system. It's not helping us anyway. We can say whatever we say. We can comment and say the government should have done that, should have fixed that, should have taken money from there and all of that. We have got South African Revenue Services, SARS, a tax collector, which is effectively collecting tax, because they know the money they collect, that's the money they want to steal. So they collect the money, they misuse it. That is why Helen Zille at some point said, we need to go for a tax revolt. We need to boycott tax. We need to make the government broke. We need to paralyze this government, because if we continue to pay tax and then they continue to steal money, it's a waste. It's just a waste of time. And people were saying she was being reckless on that and all of that. Okay, what is the point of paying tax to people who are going to steal the same money and use it for their own benefit? This tax money should be helping people, changing people's lives. And the other problem of the government offering too much grants, too many grants, too many grants. I understand these other grants, social grants, that should be there, especially for the elderly people and somehow for kids who don't have parents and all of that. But other grants, just like this 350 grant, is just money for gambling. People get that money and go to the gambling spot, Emadicine, and they play dice, and they just, some will just get paid now and go to an alcohol shop and buy alcohol and they drink it, and that's it. They don't really need it for things which are the most basic things. No, people don't care anymore. People have lost hope in the government. So what do we do with the system that is really not benefiting us. Honestly, the system that is in place now is not benefiting poor people. It's benefiting the rich people, and they continue to be rich. They continue to be rich. The poorer continues to be poor. To be poor, you'll be subjected to, the last line of poverty that you have never seen. You'll be subjected to that. The most painful thing is that many black people have got a potential to, to do better things. Some, they went to school, they've got master's degrees and all of that. They've studied, they've dedicated their time, to obtain post-graduation qualifications, right? But at the same time, they remain unemployed. They are stuck in the townships. Sorry, they've got nothing to do. So this thing really affects them quite a lot. I'm not sure what exactly do we benefit from these talk shops, because now we can see that these things are just talk shops, just like any other talk shop. So what do we actually benefit as average people who are sitting in squatter camps, who are unemployed, who are looking at the government? What is it that they have for us, so they can at least, help people? Because people are having a serious situation now. They are facing crisis now. And you go to parliament and give whatever the speech, and that's it, and you leave. So it doesn't help. I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit hopeless. Maybe there's going to be a change. What kind of a change? It's been 30 years, even more than 30 years, and nothing changes. Black people in South Africa continue to be poor, continue to be marginalized, continue to face poverty, serious poverty. They stay in slums. They are living below the poverty line. South Africa is one of the most unequal society. There's richest people there, there's poorest people there, isolated. So what is that? If you go to Sandton, right next to Sandton, there's Alexandra, where there's poor people who crime is very high, who are stagnant there, and on the other side you've got billionaires and millionaires who are sitting comfortable there. Those are the things that will spark crime, that these ones will leave township and go and steal from these ones and spend their money this other side. It's the same thing. I don't know. We are subjected to the same political system. I don't know, squatters. Maybe you'll have a different view, but my reaction has not changed. Whether there was a budget speech or there was no budget speech, to me, life goes on. It's the same. Nothing will change. The budget speech, the purpose was to increase VAT, and that's it. And they did it. And that's it. It's done. Thank you, squatters.